Hey everybody, what's going on? Hexlex here. I got another Master Duel video for you all today. So, we're coming back with the Shizu Tearlaments here for Season 17. It is now post-ban list, as you can see by the fact that Instant Fusion is not in my deck, and we have a singular copy of Foolish Burial Goods instead, the one singular copy that we are allowed. And that's not the only change that I've made since the last time that we've showed the deck here on the channel. As you can see, we are rocking a playset of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, and only one DD Crow. The other change that I've made is that I'm now running 2 Scream instead of 3. As far as the extra deck goes, we are playing the same 15 cards though. So, what is with these changes? Of course, the ban list has come to pass, so that explains the lack of Instant Fusion, and we're playing Foolish Burial Goods as our consistency card of choice over something like Rhoda or Pot of Prosperity. That way we can get a little bit more versatility out of it and not have to bin our extra deck cards, especially because we don't know exactly which ones we will and won't need at the start of the duel. So the Foolish Burial Goods affords us the opportunity to send the Tearlaments Sulliek from our deck to the graveyard potentially. This can allow us to search out not only Reinoheart like Reinforcement of the Army can, and often that is what we'll be getting, but we can also use that to search any of our other Tearlament names, as well as the ability to send either Cryme or Scream for a little bit more versatility. Scream, of course, allows us to add one of our trap cards, and Cryme allows us to add a banished Tearlament monster. But on top of that, the Ash Blossoms, you might be wondering, well, on your tech tier list, didn't you rate those like even lower than something like DD Crow? And indeed, it has been common to see 3 DD Crow more than 3 Ash Blossom. However, I was recently hanging out in Rulkallos' stream. She is a finalist of week 11, as well as a couple of other weeks of the MCS, and she was making a pretty compelling argument as to why it's a good idea actually to play 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, and less DD Crow. The main ideas behind it are that Ash Blossom is good against more of a variety of decks than just the mirror match. Unlike DD Crow, now granted you might be thinking, well, you're just going to be running into the mirror match a lot anyway. Ash Blossom also disrupts a lot of key interactions in the mirror match as well. It of course will stop the Kitkallos search. It won't negate the second effect, the ability to sack itself and then mill the top 5, but it does have the ability to stop this milling the top 5 as well, which can potentially be very, very good. Moreover than that, it can also stop the effects of pretty much all of the fusers when they're summoned, but most notably Havnis and Scheiren. It'll prevent those monsters from special summoning themselves. It'll prevent Scheiren from sending a card in hand, and of course it'll prevent the mills as well. But honestly, being able to stop a Havnis like during your turn is very, very good. Like, just, it's not a factor you have to worry about. The body doesn't come onto the board, and the mills don't happen. And that can very often be the difference between like winning or losing the duel as a resolved Havnis. So being able to just shut that out completely is very, very nice. It can, of course, also negate the Terraforming. It can negate the Perlerino search, and it can negate the triple attack as well, because it's got an effect that allows you to draw cards in there. So yeah, the Ash Blossom's got a lot of really nice versatility, and again, it's better than DD Crow against a lot of decks, not just the mirror match there. Well, arguably DD Crow might be better than Ash Blossom, but I think they have about equal utility, and Ash Blossom is just generally better a lot of the time. So I liked it when I played in the MCS, I liked it when I was testing, so I'm going to continue to test the 3 Ash Blossoms in here moving forward. I have also thought about maybe doing like a 2-2 split between DD Crow and Ash Blossom, because the fact that DD Crow is dark is very, very handy. Of course, that allows us to summon Mudragon of the Swamp fairly easily, so yeah, it could be good doing a 2-2 split instead of like 3-1, but we'll keep testing, see how we like it, and then move forward from there. The reason I cut down on Scream, going from 3 to 2, is to, of course, make room for the Ash Blossoms, but the reason Scream was the card that got cut is Scream is a good card, but it might not necessarily be great to have like all the time. It's good to open and to mill, but it's really only good to open if you already have plays. Like, it's not a card that makes plays by itself, right? It's not a starter. It's just an extender. It's a good extender, mind you, but still, that's the reason I decided to cut down on it, is because Not only is it, you know, one of the more meh cards to open if you don't already have plays, but as far as, you know, sending it to the graveyard to search for trap cards, if we really need to do that, we have the option to do it with the Foolish Burial Goods as well, so might not necessarily need as many copies. The other contender was to maybe cut Cryme, which sounds a little wild, but this card's actually not live a lot of the time, which is the reason why some people don't play it. Having a monster in your hand can actually be a little bit more difficult than you think all the time, but the fact that it's a counter trap and an Omni Negate and it shuffles the card back, like, I think those are enough pros to definitely still be playing it in our deck. Otherwise, there's not really a whole lot else. Like, I would honestly consider cutting, like, maybe the slot that Insta-Fusion held, maybe you don't need to replace it with something like Foolish Burial Goods or another consistency card. You could just, like, turn this back into a Scream if you wanted to, or could go down to 2 triple attack. There's a lot of options here, but ultimately, yeah, I decided to just go ahead and cut the third Scream. And I haven't really noticed too much of a consistency drop as far as, like, opening it or anything. Not enough that, like, I feel like I need to have a third copy back in, but again, if that comes up with more testing, we will definitely make note of that and adjust the build accordingly. So, that's all the changes that I wanted to discuss. Not too many. This ban list, of course, did not have, like, a super huge impact on how you build and play this deck and how it functions. So, yeah, definitely not too many changes we have to make there. So, let's go ahead and break the list down card by card, and then we'll go into some live gameplay. So, for this iteration of our build, we are playing 1 DD Crow, 3 Maxx, 2 Tearlaments Merrli, 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 2 Tearlaments Havnis, 1 Fairy Tale Snow, 2 Tearlaments Scheiren, 3 Tearlaments Reinoheart, 2 Keldo the Sacred Protector, 3 Mudora the Sword Oracle, 2 Kelbek the Ancient Vanguard, 2 Agido the Ancient Sentinel, 1 Terraforming, 1 Foolish Burial Goods, 3 Triple Tactics Talent, 1 Primeval Planet's Perlerino, 2 Tearlaments Scream, 3 Infinite Impermanence, 1 Tearlaments Cryme, and then 2 Tearlaments Sulliek. There's our main deck. For the extra deck, we're playing 1 Mudragon of the Swamp, 1 Tearlaments Kitkallos, 1 Predaplant Dragostapelia, 1 Tearlaments Rulkallos, 1 Tearlaments Kaliedo-Heart, 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Zoodiac Drident, 1 Zoodiac Boarbow, 1 Zoodiac Chakanine, 1 number 41 Bagooska, the terribly tired Tapir, 1 Time Thief Redoer, 1 number 60 Dugares, the Timeless, 1 Divine Arsenal AA-ZEUS Sky Thunder, 1 Dark the Dark Charmer Gloomy, and then finally 1 Sprite Elf. Alright, there's our lineup. Let's go ahead and look at these live games. Alright, jumping in here for Season 17. Want to include that just to show that indeed I have not played the new season yet. It has just begun. Let's go ahead and load up our deck. Oh, I hit create new, didn't I? Let's go to change decks. I actually did go through all my deck lists here and kind of like update them all for the current meta. So I might end up doing at some point another one of those videos where I just show off all my lists just because, I don't know. If that's something you want to see, not like a thorough deck profile of each of them, but just being like, hey, here's me like showing off all my lists and briefly being like, you know, hey, here are my lists, here's kind of what I'm thinking for each of these decks. Yeah, if that's a video you want to see, definitely let me know. But anyway, we're going into our first match. I won the coin flip, which is very nice. Of course, we always love to see it. Always love matching boards as well. Is the opponent on 60 cards here? No, but they are on like 53. How's our hand look? Not bad, although we did get shifted. And we don't have the means to summon a rank 4, which is a little bit annoying as well. I think in this situation, our opponent's playing 53 cards in Shifter. What are they on? Alright, I'm going to set Imperm for sure. I'll set Cryme, but I'm not going to summon a Tearlament monster just to have it up with Cryme. I don't think I'm going to summon anything. I think I'm just going to set these 2 cards and then pass over to my opponent. And then I guess we'll just have to hope that this Imperm is enough, really, to stop our opponent's plays. I wonder if it's just like a really greedy Flanderies player that's just playing a ton of cards. I could just concede, you know. We'll definitely take that. Alright, now I kind of have to see what they were on there. Let's take a look, shall we? Because I'm sure you're curious too. Our opponent was a greedy Flanderies player that didn't open up plays because they're playing 53 cards. Alright, let's just hop into our next duel here. Alright, we won the coin flip again. Love to see it. Decided to go back to the Totally Awesome mate because I feel like it just matches the Medolce board a lot, which is definitely my new favorite board. Alright. This hand would be dead were it not for the Perlerino, so thank God for that. Gonna hope our opponent doesn't have an Ash Blossom. They might have a Maxx, though, because I just got priority passed to them during my draw phase. Although sometimes the game just does that, it seems like. Because they're definitely not getting priority passed to them now. Alright, let's activate our Scream. And normal summon the Reinoheart. Beautiful. Lovely start. Could scarcely ask for a better start. Alright, let's do the... You want to do the chain link in this order, that way you chain block the Reinoheart's effect with the Tearlaments Scream. That way if they have Ash Blossom, they can't use it to negate like the Reinoheart. Alright, what did we mill? We milled a Sulliek, so we get to add 2 monsters here. Or no, we're sending a card to the graveyard. Alright, we're going to send Merrli to the yard. And then we're once again going to chain block the monster effect. I'm going to activate Merrli first, and then I'm going to activate Sulliek. With this Sulliek, I'm just going to go ahead and search another Merrli. Because I would be searching it with Kitkallos anyway, but now I can use my Kitkallos search for potentially either like Scheiren or Sulliek. Probably Sulliek, or opponent could just concede. Wow, you know, this is something that, like, I don't know. I don't blame my opponents for conceding, honestly. But, like, this is usually something you encounter more in Diamond 1 than, like, you know, Plat 5. But I guess some people were just, like, kind of fed up with facing off against Tearlaments. Not that I blame them. Atem, the Pharaoh himself, and we win a coin flip yet again, going first yet again. Okay, this hand is a little more dice rolly. We're going to have to more or less end up relying on this Merrli finding us something good here. But before I normal summon Merrli, I think I'm going to go ahead and start by activating this Keldo. I'll pitch the Mudora, and I guess I'll just add Kelbek here. Or our opponent could concede again. You know, normally I would edit all this out, but I've kind of just been going in one, like, continuous take. It hasn't really been too much time, so I guess I'll just leave this in. Would like to have a real duel here at some point, though. Okay, maybe we'll finally have a real game where opponent doesn't snap concede, because we're going second. Ooh, opponent's on the Ghost Trick Mansion. Love when opponents are on the Ghost Trick Mansion, because that means you get to spin the table. Alright, we have an Ash Blossom, so we have that going for us with this hand. No Punk Ogre Dance. Do I Ash Blossom this, or do I wait? I guess the question is, do I Ash this, or do I Ash the effect of the Ziamine that they're about to search? That would use up their normal summon if they have to summon Ziamine, so I'll wait. Alright. But it's probably very privy to the idea that I have Ash Blossom now, but I'm just going to go ahead and fire it off. Like I said, doing it now instead of against the Ogre Dance, so that way it uses our opponent's normal summon for this Ziamine. If they want to keep going, they're going to have another kind of extender in their hand. Which they don't. Beautiful. Alright. Ooh, that Kelbek's not a bad top deck. So my opponent's on the Punk engine, but they're playing 40 cards. Do I think it's okay to mill them with this Kelbek? There's really not a need to with this hand, honestly. Should I start with Mudora before Scream Reinoheart anyway? I don't really think there's a need to. I'm just gonna, yeah, I'll just start with the Scream Reinoheart. Alright. Of course, like I mentioned earlier, we're gonna chain block the monster effect first, and then the spell trap effect. That's generally good to do not just in Tearlaments, but in general, because there tend to be more disruption effects that stop monsters than spell or trap cards. Okay, so we sent nothing of relevance, so I'm going to send... I already have a Merrli in hand, right? I'll just send a Merrli from my deck and activate her effect. But I'm going to actually fuse with the Merrli in hand because I want to keep this Reinoheart on the field as a potential rank 4 body, because I have the means of summoning another level 4 monster in this hand. Alright, now Kitkallos can activate, and we're just going to grab that Merrli again, unless our opponent negates this, which they are. They're going to Ash Blossom now. That is totally fine. So what I can do is I can still activate this Mudora's effect, make some rank 4. Some rank 4. Well, really, I just need to make a rank 4 and detach the Reinoheart as a material to then activate Kitkallos. So I could just make like a Drident here. The question is, do I activate Kelbek's mill effect? And I think the answer is no. Even if I don't think my opponent's on Tearlaments, I think they could still be playing the Agido cards very easily. And I don't want them to hit like a Shuffler, so I'm going to hold off on that. Alright, I said I was going for Drident, right? Yeah, I like that because that also allows me to have Zeus plays here. So I usually like to go for the Drident before the Boarbow, just in case I end up needing to attack directly later if they like put another monster on the board for some reason. Alright, now I'm going to activate Drident. I'm going to detach the Reinoheart and blow up their monster. Alright, that puts a Tearlaments monster in my graveyard, so now I can activate Kitkallos' effect, sacking herself and bringing back that Reinoheart. I won't get to use the effect, of course, because I've already used Reinoheart's effect this turn, but I do get to mill 5, and I hit a Sulliek. I don't have a normal summon. I also hit the other 2 Reinohearts, which is interesting. But, okay, so I don't have another normal summon. I don't have a monster in hand to discard for Scheiren, so I'm going to add Havnis to my hand. And I guess I'm just going to go for Zeus here. And I haven't really left myself with too many other options, but I think that's fine, given that my opponent didn't really have any other plays after I ashed their Zeamine last turn. I kind of doubt they'll be able to play through a format Zeus here. Also, the Reinoheart was not special summoned by its own effect, so if I send it off of Zeus, I will actually get to activate it. And I don't even have to use the Havnis in my hand for that, because I can throw the Scream on the chain link before it, and I can use that to add Sulliek and discard that instead. So, we're in a pretty good spot here. Okay, here is Foxy Tune's effect. That's totally fine, because as soon as this Zeamine gets summoned, I'm just gonna nuke the board. That's why I'm holding my trigger. You might see my auto switch to on with me without me actually clicking it. That's because I'm holding down the left click right now. Oh, and we get to Scream as well. This isn't a quick effect, so I'll get priority passed to me after the resolution of this Scream. But I want to do that first. Okay, cool. And this is why I wanted to do that first and not throw the Zeus on the same chain link, is because I get to, well, if my opponent had conceded, I would have gotten to have summoned Kitkallos, then Zeus, blown up the board, then milled 5 with Kitkallos, and then probably have just summoned Rulkallos after that. So I would have had, oh, and then I would have gotten to search, actually I could have summoned Kaliedo-Heart as well. Actually, there wasn't even a need to Zeus with that board. I could have just summoned Kaliedo-Heart, period. And then I could have blown up the board with Zeus, brought back Kaliedo-Heart, sent Naka with its own effect. I mean, we had a million plays. Like, of course we did. It's Tearlaments, right? Alright, so look at that. Pretty quick rank up to Plat 4 there. Not too shabby. Although, I mean, we did have 3 people just snap concede to us, so that there was that too. Let's just hop into our next duel here. Yeah, I normally do like, what, 4 duels per video, but I don't really count those first 3 as like a full duel, so we'll get at least a couple more games in here. A couple of good games. Alright, going first yet again. Okay, so this hand... is not that great. Let's see. I can get to a Dugares, but it takes my normal summon. But that would allow me to discard Scream. But does that even do anything? That just adds a trap card. So that doesn't even necessarily get me plays. Alright. I think I'm going to special Mudora, sending Agido, and then normal Fairy Tale Snow, and then probably just go for Bagooska? I feel like that's the safest line here. It's always interesting with hands like this where you can just make a random rank for. Like trying to figure out... Actually, the fact that I have Kelbek in hand might mean that I don't want to activate the Kelbek, or the Bagooska, or summon a Bagooska. Here's the other question. Do I activate Agido? This is one of those times where it might actually be worth. Like, it might be worth. I have a Shuffler on board. I'm gonna go for it. I'm just gonna go for it. I think in a tournament I might not make this play. Okay, cool. We lucked out. Alright, let's start. They don't have a Shuffler, right? They didn't mill one. Did they really not mill a Shuffler? That's beautiful. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna do Merrli, not Havnis. I'll activate Havnis later this turn. I'm just gonna do Merrli and Scream. Now they get their effects, but of course I am just not going to allow that because of my Mudora. This will tell me if they have a Tearlaments card in their hand, though, if they get an opportunity to activate this Reinoheart. Not that that really does a lot for me, information-wise. But I guess if they have a Havnis, I'll find out now. Alright, definitely putting those 2 back, and... Alright, my opponent's just gonna concede. I guess people don't feel like playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Tonight. I don't really know what's going on. This is like... This happens a lot in Diamond 1, but I'm not used to this happening in Plat, so... Alright. I mean, we'll take it. 5-0 so far in the new season. I will absolutely take that. That Agido was very risky, though, I will say. That does not always pay off like that. I guess to be fair, our win streak is also due to the fact that we've only lost 1 coin flip so far. Or, I guess partially, anyway. Because you can definitely still go first and get handed a ton of bricks. Almost like this hand, although we did open Foolish Burial Goods, so that's nice. Just gonna use that to send Sulliek and add Reinoheart in this case. If our opponent doesn't negate it. Ooh, or Shifter. Alright, so Shifter is just gonna have to be fine. And we're definitely gonna send not our Sulliek here. I guess I'll just send a triple tack. I feel like that's gonna be the best thing here. Or I guess the worst thing to send. Yeah, we'll just send one of our triple tacks, it's fine. Alright, set a couple of imperms and then pass over to our opponent. This might be our first loss. We might get handed our first loss to us by a D-shifter here. See if they like summon a Robina. Activate D-fissure. They played it across from my imperm at least. It's an Exosister, okay. Ooh, it's Irene, that's good. Ooh, okay. I was gonna say that's good if she activates her effect, because that activates as a cost so we can just negate her, but they just have the other Exosister anyway. So I guess we're just gonna summon Mikkolas here. No, Castepio. Okay, that's a lot better for me. They're trying to add Martha here. So I'm going to activate specifically the Imperm over here. So that way during my next turn we can potentially shut off this Dimensional Fissure if we need to. Like if we top deck Reinoheart, Terraforming, Perlerino, Merrli. We have a bunch of top decks. Scheiren. Hopefully we draw one of those cards. I really hope we do. I do not want to lose to Exo-Sister. I don't like playing against Exo-Sister. I mean, obviously I'm playing Tearlament, but... Alright, battle phase. Totally forgot it was not... Well, I don't know why I did. I have set cards. I was going to say I totally forgot it was turn 2. Okay. Come on, something good. That's not good. It's not good enough. Blah. That sucks. That actually really sucks. Because now my opponent gets to search next turn. Well, I mean, I can still imperm, but then I lose the ability to turn off Dimensional Fissure. Which is pretty much going to shut off my ability to, like, win this duel. But if they resolve this Castapelia, they're just going to grab Martha. I really don't like playing against this deck. God, I don't know. I guess there's not really anything I can do about it either, is the thing. Like, not with this hand. Alright, I'm just going to set my Keldo. I guess we'll set Sulliek and just pass. Great. Gotta love it. I think I do still activate Imperm here. Even though I really don't want to. There's like this really greedy side to me that says don't and wait till your next turn. But let's see. Because they're just going to add Martha here, go for Mikkolas, and they get to make Returnia, start banishing my board. I don't like this, but I am going to activate Imperm. I probably should have just kept this Keldo in my hand, honestly. I actually definitely should have. Well, would it have really mattered that much? Like, I was going to say to, like, maybe make a rank 4, but, like, what other level 4 could I have top decked? Because I would need an Earth Fairy to discard, as well as another level 4 monster. This is one of those matchups where, yeah, DD Crow definitely does not do as much as Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom would have been great there, actually, because I could have just used that and then saved my Imperm. It's an example of Ash Blossom being better. And now we have the Scheiren, of course. That's really annoying. Alright. Not really much of a game here. I could just concede, and I'm probably going to after this turn, or maybe at some point during this turn. Because now they get to add their Martha. So yeah, one takeaway from this game, I will note, if this DD Crow was Ash Blossom, which I mean we're already playing 3 Ash Blossom and 1 DD Crow, so like it's not like, you know, it's not like it would have been a direct replacement in that regard, but this is a situation where DD Crow was not good enough, and it's because we're not up against the mirror match. Let's see, I'm at 57. Returnia attacks twice at 28. That's 56. I'm like, I'm very technically not dead, but I don't have an out to this Thief Fissure. What does this one do? Boost attack points. Okay, it's fine. I said Returnia. I think Magnifica, that's the rank 8, right? I think that's what I actually meant. Yeah, this one. Here we go. Oh, it's for the whole turn, so my opponent's just going to kill me now. Well, that's good. Alright, at least I don't have to concede. Assuming my opponent doesn't try to play too fancy. Sometimes you can't just psych your opponent out by having priority constantly passed to you. So like, I guess is good for that in that regard. But I imagine you just banish my monster and then attack me twice and then I lose. Yep. Oh well, it happens. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes you get shifted and then fissured. Alright, let's go on to our next duel here. Let's see what we're looking at for time. Yeah, I want to get at least one more game in here before we wrap up this video. I've been seeing a lot of no-name opponents lately. I don't know if it's like a phenomenon anyone else is encountering. Kind of freaks me out a little bit. It makes me feel like it's like a bot that's gonna hack my account for some reason. Wow, alright. That's a hand. Sure. We can open all 3 Reinoheart. Ah, please don't get negated. Thank you. Beautiful. Alright. I'm gonna definitely use one of the Reinohearts in my hand for this fusion summon. Because we definitely don't need all 3. And it's better to keep level 4 bodies on the board when possible, to potentially make a rank 4. Like, regardless if you're going first or second, that can definitely come up and be useful. Alright, Kitkallos. Opponent's gonna Ash Blossom. That's completely fine, because now I get to take a peek at their hand. And that actually doesn't stop me from milling 5 here and getting it twisted. Alright, what do you got going on under the hood here? Merrli, Kelbek, triple attack, Sulliek. Well, I definitely don't want them to Kelbek me, so I'm probably just going to put that back. I'm getting in the habit of actually writing stuff down, because sometimes I do forget. So let me just write this down real quick. Merrli, triple attack, Sulliek. Alright, and then I'm putting back the Kelbek here. Alright. Let's mill 5, get it twisted, etc. Get this last Reinoheart out of my hand, sure. Okay, well, we're definitely not going to be activating this Agido, that's for sure, but I will activate the Sulliek and the Scream. Oh, you know what? I could actually still keep going with my plays here. If I overlay into Redoer, then I can activate Reinoheart's effect, pitch this Sulliek. Like, if I add Scheiren here, and then I could use Sulliek's effect to add a Tearlament mod. Wait, haven't I already done that this turn? Haven't I already used Sulliek's effect? Yes, I just did. I'm literally doing it right now. I'm literally doing it right this second as we speak. So that's actually not something we're going to do. I guess I could just summon Abyss Dweller. So if I'm just going to summon Abyss Dweller, shouldn't I actually add Reinoheart here? Because I know my opponent's hand. They're just conceding. Okay. I took too long. But that's fine. I mean, I don't feel bad about the amount of time that I took. It's like the amount of time you're allotted. So definitely don't ever feel bad about that. But so I want to think about that turn a little bit more. Because there were a lot of different things we could have done there, actually. Let's see. It probably just would have been activating Dweller, though. Like, I'm thinking about their hand, Merrli, triple attack Sulliek. Yeah, Dweller during the draw phase shuts that down pretty handily. Normally I would not Dweller during the draw phase because you want to play around Imperm and not walk into it, but that's a situation where we obviously like know our opponent's hand, and the odds of them ripping exactly Imperm off the top of the deck are not very high. I think like 10% about, so not even, less than that, right? It's at 3 out of 35, whatever that is. It's less than 10%. I don't know. It's like 8 and some change, maybe. Should we keep going? Well, let's do one more. That was not much of a duel, was it? Let's do one more. Death Gun. That's a name. That is certainly a name. Alright, we're going second. So let's see how we end up opening here. Main thing going second is I just want to open like some amount of interaction. That's really all you can ask for, honestly. Alright, we have Ash Blossom and Kelbek. That is some amount of interaction. Opponent's on a 46 card deck. Thought it looked a little bit bigger than 35. Foolish Burial. Yeah, it's probably just safest to Ash Blossom this, right? That could be bait, but okay, it resolves. Okay, so it's a branded deck. That'll explain why it's 46 cards. Alright, well, I'm actually really glad I Ash Blossomed that Foolish then. Because it seems like my opponent's digging for... No, that's fine. It seems like my opponent's digging for something here. That, I think, is going to keep me from activating my Kelbek. That branded lost. Because I was looking at this Kelbek being like, ooh, can I bounce to a billion? I don't know if I'm actually able to during that instance. No, okay. Well, again, I might be because of the branded lost. Although I feel like I, in the past, have not been able to Kelbek when my opponent activates branded fusion. Maybe I'm just making that up, though. Okay, they added Mercurier and add Lipitum. Both expected. Imagine this is the Mirror Jade now. And then we're gonna banish the Allober. Set the Branded in red during the end phase, so on and so forth. This is definitely going to be a little bit tricky, but we can at least mill 5 off of one of our millers with Scheiren. I mean, there's a decent chance my opponent's playing tier limit cards as well, but not as great of a chance. DD Crow would be a great top deck. This is actually an instance where DD Crow would be better than Ash Blossom, is to stop this Branded in red, but that's obviously very narrow. Reinoheart, it's not a bad top deck at all. Actually, that's a great top deck. Let's see. Do I start by normal summoning Reinoheart? This triple attack could potentially put in a lot of work as well. I think we do start by normaling Reinoheart. Just see what they end up doing here. The one thing I do want to avoid, if possible... Ooh, and I think this is going to give me the perfect opportunity to do it. I want to avoid Mirror Jade banishing Kitkallos. Ooh, I could activate Kelbek. Let's do that now. Yeah, let's do that now. Let's threaten to bounce this. Opponent's going to chain Branded red, but at least forces it before my opponent, like, would ideally, I think, like to use it. I actually totally forgot that Mercurier doesn't destroy, it just negates, so... Oh wait, they added Albaz? Oh, because they still have the... They still have it in hand, yeah, they still have the ad libitum in hand. But they're not going for Guardian Chimera, they're going for Dragostapelia. That's interesting. Now they resummon the Mirror Jade, yep. Ooh, I hope they don't have another... Well, is Recurrier once per turn? Probably is. Yeah, okay. Okay, so now we have one Mirror Jade and a back row to deal with. I feel like the back row, though, is going to be, like, Branded Banishment. Triple attack now would force the Mirror Jade. Let's just... Another thing I still have to decide is if I'm actually going to Millify with the Scheiren. We'll figure that out later. In the meantime, triple attack, taking an opponent's monster. Is that happening right now? Let me think for a sec. I think it might be happening right now. It would force the Mirror Jade and it would also force the Dragostapelia. Let's do it. And I don't really care if Mirror Jade banishes one of these. Oh, but I can't banish their monster, so I actually don't force the Dragostapelia with this. I could enter battle phase. Force it that way. Just like run over it. Yep, here's the Mirror Jade F. Can this only be fusion summoned? No. So can't I go into Dark the Dark Charmer and then like just resummon this again? Actually, can I do that with Dragostapelia as well? Well, but I still need to get rid of the Mirror Jade though if I do it that way. I guess I'll just take this. Alright, I'm gonna activate Scheiren now. And I think I am actually gonna mill 5 with this Agido. It's risky. Well, let's see the 3. Okay. We hit Snow and Keldo. That makes me feel a little bit better. The Keldo makes me feel better about activating this Agido. Alright, they hit nothing relevant. Beautiful. Alright, oh, and we hit so much. We hit so much here. Have I normal summoned yet? I did, okay. Alright, Sulliek F. And Scream F. Called by the Grave. Okay, that's their last back row. If that's their last back row, that's fine. What do they target? I mean, duh, they just targeted Havnis, right? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have enough for Snow. This is getting banished anyway, so we'll target that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. Okay. Now we can turn the Dragostapelia face down too, and then we won't have to worry about that anymore. Alright, let's add Sulliek for sure. And we're gonna add Merrli. Because we're about to make Kitkallos. No, we're not about to make Kitkallos. Right, that got negated. So, let's add Havnis here. Yeah. Because we've already used Scheiren, we don't have a monster anyway, and we've already normal summoned. So yeah, we had Havnis here. And yep, there's no monster I can special, that's fine. Let's activate you to turn you face down. That's, you can chain, that's perfectly fine. Oh, I totally forgot that actually allows me to activate my Havnis in hand. Thanks, buddy. That actually makes potentially ending the duel on this turn a lot easier. Oh, get it twisted. Oh my god, we got such good mills. Alright, beautiful. Alright, let's do Merrli's effect. No, let's do Scheiren's effect. I'm thinking, no, let's do Merrli, because we have Scheiren on board, and we can potentially make Redoer. Alright. So I'm going to summon Kitkallos, I'm going to use Merrli, and I'm going to use my Havnis on board. Oh, you know what? I did have room to summon. I could have put in the extra monster zone. I was going to say so that I have room to summon it, but I might end up needing my extra monster zone anyway. Alright, I haven't summoned Merrli yet, so I'm going to add Merrli and then summon her and mill 8. Honestly, the main reason I'm milling 8 here is to... I can't do it! Oh, because I can't summon because I don't have room, I think. I was going to say the main reason I'm even doing that is to put more stuff in the graveyard for snow. Let me make dark here. Now can I activate Kitkallos' effect? Yes, okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, you have to be able to summon the monster is the thing, so... Alright, do need to be mindful of the time a little bit here. Scheiren is the last one we haven't activated. Hopefully we mill that, but again, I'm mostly just doing this to put more stuff in yard for the, what do you call it? I'll add Havnis for the snow, fairy tale snow. Alright. Activating Dark's effect. Give me your Mirror Jade. Oh, this isn't level 4. Shoot. I didn't even think about that. Ah, crap. I should have used that. Oh, but I can just summon Fairy Tale Snow. Yeah. Yeah, I need to make Redoer here, and that's how I'm going to make... Alright, let's just kind of go... And then that's how I'm going to make Kaliedo-Heart, which is how I'm going to get rid of this, and then how I'm going to attack for game. Alright. This ended up being a very long turn, but we did manage to find lethal through our opponent's board here, so it ended up being worth it. Alright, Redoer F. Detach Scheiren. I have a Reinoheart in here, right? I don't have a Reinoheart. Oh, no. That's not good. I thought I had one. Oh, I should have added Reinoheart instead of Havnis, turns out. Okay, so that has how much attack? 1950? Or defense. It has 1900 defense. Why did I say 1950? We can make Sprite Elf. That doesn't actually add anything to our board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, let's just move to battle phase. Ooh, snow might actually be lethal here if I hurry. It is lethal if I hurry. Alright, activate snow. Yes. There we go. Ah, we found lethal. Oh, that was nice. That was good. That was really good. Alright. Perfect. Yeah, even though we didn't have Kaliedo-Heart there at the end, we did manage to end up finding lethal there. So, I think that's going to go ahead and do it for this video. That's a nice, decent chunk of live duels there for you right at the start of Season 17. So, hope you all enjoyed this deck profile here for Agido Tearlaments. And, yeah, let's just go ahead and move now to our outro. Alright everybody, thank you so much for watching all the way to the very end of the video like this. That means a whole lot to me. Not just personally, but it's also a great way of supporting the channel as well. If you're interested in supporting the channel in other means, you can of course feel free to comment and or subscribe right here on YouTube. I'm always looking to the comments section. You guys leave some pretty awesome feedback as far as like constructive criticism goes when it comes to deck building, gameplay, channel content, all that stuff. So feel free to leave your opinion down there. I will be sure to take a look at that there. And then subscribing is going to be the best way to get notifications of when these videos drop. That does happen every day, by the way, so if you're looking for daily Master Duel content, you've come to the right place. And there are more places where you can get some daily Master Duel content. If you check out the description below, follow the top link over to my Patreon page. There for just $5 a month, which is as much as you pay for a booster pack, you'll find a lot more value than a pack full of filler over there. We've got some previews for content upcoming here on the channel. We've got some exclusive games that are only posted over on Patreon over there. We've got some Q&As, and then you can also have your name featured in this lovely credit sequence where I thank all of the people who are helping contribute over there on Patreon. It's a huge support to the channel, and it really means a lot as well. So thank you everyone who is donating that is featured here on screen. And again, you know, it's not just a pure donation, you do get some more daily Master Duel content over there just for being a part of the Patreon. But I think that's about all the time that I have for today's video. Once again, I just want to thank you so very much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. Again, it just means a lot, as I do put a decent amount of work into getting these videos out every single day. But that's about all the time that I've got for now, so without further ado, this is Xlex. I'm signing out, and I hope you have a fantastic day.